buddy, let me ask you something. If today you were left with no electricity, no water, no shelter, would you even last a single day? But millions of years ago, people lived with no technology at all, just spears and sticks. So how did they survive? Life in the Stone Age was far tougher than we imagine, but it was also one of the most creative periods in human history. One of the greatest discoveries of Stone Age people was fire. Before that, night was nothing but cold, terrifying darkness. Predators lurked in the shadows, and surviving the night alone was nearly impossible. But once fire was discovered, everything changed. It warmed them, kept predators away, and turned raw food into meals that were safer and tastier. And for the first time, people gathered around fire and built the first social bond. So, where did people actually sleep? Most of us picture caves, but that's not entirely true. Sometimes they slept in rocky shelters, sometimes high up in trees. In other places, they built simple huts out of animal skins. During the winter, survival meant huddling together at night for warmth. Sleeping alone often meant freezing to death. It was an unavoidable fate. But even fire and shelter couldn't remove all dangers. The greatest enemy of Stone Age humans wasn't nature. It was predators. Back then, our ancestors didn't even have 1% of the technology we rely on today. Lions, bears, mammoths, and saber-toothed tigers. Humans were weak against them. They had no sharp teeth or claws, only intelligence. The very first spears and sharp stone tools were born out of this deadly struggle. To survive, they had to invent. Another key to survival was food. So how did our ancestors eat? They weren't just hunters, they were gatherers too. Wild roots, herbs, fruits, and nuts made up a big part of their diet. But meat was priceless. Raw meat didn't just give energy, it also helped the brain grow. And once fire was discovered, something changed. They realized that cooking meat made it taste better and safer. Cooked meat gave people more energy, and that energy fueled brain growth. Even eating became part of human evolution. Speaking of intelligence, Stone Age humans had to constantly think, adapt, and create. Fire and tools were just the beginning. Soon, they had to work together. The first seeds of language were planted in this era. They cooperated in hunting, shared food, and even traded with one another. They discovered that the key to survival was unity. But the Stone Age wasn't only about survival. It was also when the first sparks of culture began. Cave paintings weren't just art, they were a way of communicating. Those drawings showed hunting scenes, natural events, even spiritual beliefs. Humans weren't just creatures chasing food. They were thinkers, dreamers, and creators of symbols. Bone necklaces, painted stones, and rituals, all of these were the very first sparks of civilization. In the end, Stone Age humans did more than survive. They laid the foundations for our future. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. Everything we use today, our homes, our tools, even our art, all of it is the continuation of those first sparks of fire and stone tools. The people of the Stone Age lived without modern comforts, but without their intelligence, cooperation, and creativity, we wouldn't exist at all.